Hey everybody, it's Patrick Kirby. Welcome to the official Do Good Better podcast. I am your host, and again, we are talking with small nonprofits doing great big things. But this series of sort of podcast this week is dedicated to talking about COVID-19 and how nonprofits are dealing with that, how they're trying to not only survive but thrive, and answering a couple of fundraising questions along the way. I am blessed to have Pete Christopher, who is the Resource Development and Marketing Manager at the Lake Agassiz Habitat for Humanity here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. He's a friend of Do Good Better Consulting, a friend of the show. Pete Christopher, how are you today?
Well, I'm doing all right, getting through this weird time that we have, but we're doing our best, working from home, and we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely, as we are. I think that's just generally everybody sort of associates that. And again, if you're a small nonprofit, you're sort of, hey, we do some building, we do some homes. If nobody knows what Habitat for Humanity is, they've been living under a rock. But for those of you who don't, kind of give a 5,000-foot view about what you do at your organization.
Yeah, so Lake Agassiz Habitat is an affiliate of Habitat for Humanity International. We are a home building nonprofit, so we believe that everybody deserves a decent place to live. And unfortunately, that's just not the case in the world. There's 1.8 million people that are right now paying more than 50% of their income on housing. In our community alone, in Clay County, there's about 10,000 households that are paying more than 50% of their income on housing. So what we do is we get the community involved and bring them out and help build homes. And what's unique about our program is it's not a giveaway program. It's our families are right there swinging hammers with us. They take classes on learning how to be a homeowner, and then they repay the cost of their home back to us. So it's truly a great way to leverage donations. We call it a hand up, not a handout. We operate here locally, but Habitat International operates in 70 different countries around the world. We do programs with home building, fixing homes, disaster recovery after hurricanes, things like that. We've gotten into water situations because we know water is obviously a need too. So there's some in other parts of the world where people are struggling to find decent water. Habitat has gotten into some of that program as well. So, and then we operate the ReStore, which is our building materials thrift store. And right now that covers, not right now, but traditionally that covers about 90% of our, about 81%, I think is the number, of our operating costs. So a lot of funds are covered just through our ReStore program.
It's interesting you say that. And again, I love this whole concept of the hand up, not a handout. Everybody's invested in the building of the homes. I think if people don't understand that about Habitat, when you read up on it, it's an amazing organization. But you said something interesting, that the ReStore, the building materials store that you have that funds 80% of what you do, is not open. Right. It is closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And so that is a particular issue. How is this hitting you as an organization, and what's sort of the what's happening now at Lake Agassiz Habitat for Humanity?
So yeah, like I said, our ReStore is closed. We've got thousands of customers every month that come through there, a lot of our people are working from home, but obviously as a retail operation, that doesn't really work for us. The effects of this, we generate anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 a day on sales coming through the ReStore. So it's going to be a big hit. We've committed to continue to pay our staff because we do have a lot of people that not getting paid for a week or two is going to put a big strain on them. And so we're working on some different things for that, but it's going to be a big hit for us.
I think it's so wonderful that you're committed to your staff and saying that that's first priority of yours. I think that's a wonderful step. I think nonprofits all over are sort of trying to consider what that looks like. How have donors and donor relations been during this last couple of weeks where everybody kind of is sort of waiting for something to pivot or happen or do? What does that relationship look like with your donors, donations coming in?
So we've gotten some few donations coming in where we are working on getting some messaging out for that. A little bit behind on that, but we are going to put on appeal and things like that. One thing that we have launched is, we kind of have two different markets. We have our donor market, and then we have our shopper market. So And they cross over some, but not a ton. And so we've been working, even before this, we've been working on how do we cross that over a little bit more. And so this kind of will help push that to the forefront. And one of the things we are doing right now, and we just launched it, is we have gift cards available. And so people can go on our website, go on the Lake Agassiz Habitat.org/restore. There's just a little link where people can buy a gift card. And so that'll help us, getting some funding in the door right now. And then once this is all over with, they can come back in and get some great deals on some products for their home. And so it's a great win-win for both of us. Like I said, people will be helping us out right now, but they'll get something in return. It's not just give us some money to help.
Right.
It's a way to get something in return.
When I knew that you and I were going to talk this week, one of the things that I was trying to figure out was how can we sort of give some helpful hints and tips and tricks on how your store, even though closed, can leverage some dollar amounts. And one of the things that I was thinking about is everybody right now is at home, and that honey-do list, and I know a handful of neighbors, that honey-do list is growing. The projects that they weren't going to get to, the bathroom remodels that they were eventually going to get to, but they were too, quote, busy. Not busy anymore. You're sitting at home. So part of the advantage is that there is a large contingent of the population who have those honey-do lists that are looking for particular products and resources that will help them get that project done. Is there a way that you can pivot to an online space? And a couple of examples, and this is kind of what I was battering around. One, I would actually consider engaging the social media audience with what projects are you working on, and is there something in our ReStore that could help you out? So submit your projects. What's the scale and scope? And it's almost Habitat virtually trying to help you build or help you supply your honey-do list with the professionals that have been building houses for people for how many years has Habitat been around in Fargo-Moorhead?
So we've been around, this is our 29th year.
29 years. Yeah. 29 years of experience with honey-do lists on a grander scale, right? And so I think you can have some real fun with soliciting what those projects are and saying, hey, instead of going to Lowe's, instead of going to some of these big shops, could you stop by the ReStore and we'll provide you with this, and here are the products available. And then that way you can have people who are stopping in, they purchase it online, you leave it out for them, safe distance apart, you open the store, you're having revenue come in, but you're engaging them with like what products you have, and then you could sell it that way. Facebook Marketplace is a wonderful way to sort of offload some of your products if in a safe environment that they get to drive and pick up, right? You've got that little back channel, back way that you get to pick up some products. Leaving it out there and being a safe social distance apart is a really good way that I think you can start advertising what you still have and then how you use that in some of those products.
Sure. Yeah, I could see that. Our plan right now is to, before we officially reopen too, is to open, or not, to have some staff there and do some reorganizing of the store to kind of take advantage of this to clean up things. We've got some signage on order and things like that. So we're going to try to really, even if we can't get into something before we reopen, we're going to hit it hard when we do, so we can make some of this lost revenue back. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think part of your messaging, the continuous messaging too, is not stopping and going dark. I think the advantage that all nonprofits have, especially yours, is here's the good that we're still doing, here's the need that's still out there, and this is what we're doing to address it. Right. I think the nonprofits that are not going to move or do anything are going to be in a terrible position, because they're going to play catch up to everybody who is consistently using this time to generate stories and impact and benefits. And here's what we're doing to clean up the store. Here's what we're doing to make it easier for you to join us when the store opens up again. Here are some online ways. That is such an advantage that you have, that I wouldn't lose sight of that momentum. And I think you'll be one of those groups that come out on the other end pretty great. And that actually then gets to use the time and talent and treasure of your own organization to come up with ideas on how to engage the public that way.
Sure.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Well, Pete, how can people get a hold of you if they love this idea, they love what you're doing? There's people who still want to give.
Yeah.
How can people who are listening to this show or sending it to other people or watching it on YouTube, how can they help support Lake Agassiz Habitat for Humanity and you right now?
So a couple different ways. You can jump on our website, lakeagassizhabitat.org. I mean, donations are the biggest thing for us right now. If this goes on too long, it's going to force us to take our funds out of our home building program and putting into other programs, and so we might have to delay. We've selected 2 great single moms, including one that's working on escaping a domestic situation. So we want to do all we can to help both of them get stable footing under themselves and things like that. And so the biggest thing is just asking our people to donate, and whether that's $5, $25, or $25,000, it all helps. It's going to go an amazing way. And we talk about with Habitat, like we said earlier, it's not a hand up, it's truly an investment. And how our program works when our families repay the cost of their home is those funds go into building future homes. So let's say you went online and gave us a $25 donation today. You're not only going to help us build homes this year, hopefully, it actually helps us build homes for the next 30 years. So it's a really great investment in our program. So and in the community, really. So people can do that. We do have, like I said, we just launched our gift card program. So if you want to help out with the restore and making sure that stays viable and get something in return, you can jump on there and we're doing any donations, any donation amount. So if you want to do $25 one, or give us $100 and we'll send you four cards if you want to send them out to your friends and family to help spread the message about the restore. That would be great as well. And we're going to incentivize you a little bit too. So at $100 or more, we're going to add an extra $20 onto your gift card. So give us $100, we'll send you a gift card for $120. So that'd be great. And then if you want to, like we talked about, if you're interested in helping us do more online things, we are a short staff, and we're not the greatest at social media stuff, especially on the restore side. So if you are good at that, and I'll do, I'll list 10 things on Marketplace for you guys every week or whatever, and I'll manage that part. That would be an awesome volunteer opportunity for somebody that likes to do that kind of stuff and wants to engage with us that way. So, and then just helping spread the message. We are putting stuff on social media, on ways that you can stay sane in your house. We put up on our Facebook page. We put up I created in fact, I have it right here. I'm not done with it yet, but I can't show you too much because you'll cheat.
I don't want the answers.
But so I made a Habitat for Humanity word find. So if your kids need something to do, you can go on our Facebook page and download that. And it's a little challenging, but I think people will get through it. So kids will probably do better than I did. But
yep.
So yeah, just sharing the message about what we're doing. We're still around. We're going to be around, but we need a little help to get through this slow time. So.
Outstanding. I love the creativity. I love the action plan. And I think a lot of nonprofits who are listening are going to take away a couple of those nuggets of wisdom, my friend. So I appreciate you. Also appreciate what Habitat Humanity is doing. They do way more than just building a house randomly in places that you kind of see. They're embedded in the community. They're a real big part of your own community too, across the country. So find one and support one. We'll drop all the links in the comments below, of course. And Pete, thank you so much for both sharing kind of your story, your message, sharing kind of your plan of action, which I think is wonderful. It'll help a lot of people. And thanks for what you do. And thanks for keeping your employees first. I think that's one of the more amazing things that you guys are doing right now in a time of like dire and dour times. That's a bright light. And I appreciate you for what you do. And thank you so much for being a guest on this special edition of the official Do Good Better podcast.